Welcome to Fantasy and Enchantment, where I describe fantasy books to my husband and see if he's enchanted. My name is Sarah.
I'm Justin, and we're back!
Yay! Back for another one. As usual, we're going to start off with content warnings. We both swear a lot. Be mindful of adult language. Also, this book in particular has a lot of porn. So,
yay, porn!
And obviously, because we're discussing the book in detail, spoiler warning, if you haven't read it, if you don't want to know what happens.
You don't belong here.
You don't belong here. Fact. So, this week we're doing A Court of Silver Flames, which is the last book so far of the ACOSF series. There will be more. The next one hasn't been announced yet.
So she's still writing.
She's still fucking writing.
She's got lots
still
to
going.
say.
Yeah. I guess she's doing like 5 or 6 books at a time. I don't even know what's happening.
She's quite a content farm.
Yeah. So, are you ready?
I guess I'm ready. Here I am thinking that we were going to finish the story today. But apparently, we're just finishing what's out so far.
Yes.
I thought we were done after
Nope.
this. Nope.
Nope.
Great.
Okay. Nesta Archeron has always been prickly proud, swift to anger, and slow to forgive. And ever since being forced into the cauldron and becoming high fae against her will, she's struggled to find a place for herself within the strange, deadly world she inhabits. Worse, she can't seem to move past the horrors of the war with Hybern and all she lost in it. The one person who ignites her temper more than any other is Cassian, the battle-scarred warrior whose position in Rysand and Feyre's night court keeps him constantly in Nesta's orbit. But her temper isn't the only thing Cassian ignites.
Oh, Christ.
The fire between them is undeniable and only burns hotter as they are forced into close quarters with each other. Meanwhile, the treacherous human queens who returned to the continent during the last war have forged a dangerous new alliance, threatening the fragile peace that has settled over the realms. And the key to halting them might very well rely on Cassian and Nesta facing their haunting past. Against the sweeping backdrop of a world seared by war and plagued with uncertainty, Nesta and Cassian battle monsters from within and without as they search for acceptance and healing in each other's arms.
So, it sounds like we are completely changing the script here. We've got whole new characters that we're going to follow. I mean, obviously, it seems like the main characters from the previous books are taking a backseat to the sister and homeboy.
Well, so this one is about Nesta and Cassian. The theory right now is that the next book is going to be about Elaine and or Asriel.
Got it.
So
we're just branching out into the whole family.
Essentially, yeah.
Not the dad, he's dead.
Real dead. Scott is dead.
Scott is dead. What's on the cover of the book?
Oh, I forgot to show you. So, fun fact, I don't actually have my copy anymore. Kind of wish I kept it, but too late.
Alright, so we've got what looks like some weird mask out of some weird porn thing.
What porn thing?
It's got that Eyes Wide Shut vibe. You remember that movie? That's probably before your time.
It's not before my time. You're not that much older than me. But I don't think I ever saw it.
It's definitely got like a masquerade mask kind of feel. The kind of thing that would definitely happen at swingers parties. For sure.
Okay. But the mask is a real thing. It's in the book. That's why it's on the cover.
At a swingers party, I would presume.
Not a swingers party.
We'll see.
Okay. So, we open the book. Mentioned last time, Nesta has an apartment in like a shady part of town.
Yeah.
We also find out at the beginning of this book that she's dealing with her trauma by drinking and fucking.
As one does.
Yeah, so that's all she's really doing. She's going back to the shitty apartment and bringing guys with her and getting drunk all the time, going out to bars. She doesn't see Feyre and Rysand very much.
She's fucking her way through town.
She is kind of, yeah. Cassian comes to find her and take her to the house with Feyre and Rysand because not that long before this, she blew like $500 on a bar tab. So Feyre has decided to hold an intervention.
Sounds like she blew a whole bunch of things.
Yes, that too. They're having an intervention. Feyre says, you can either live in this house that's got 10,000 steps from top to bottom.
That's a lot. That's a lot of walking. A lot of walking.
It is a lot of walking. You can train with Cassian while you're there and work in the library where the master used to live, helping the priestesses. Or you can go back to the mortal lands, but we're not going to continue to support you. She makes it seem like it's a choice, but really it's like, we're holding you prisoner in this house so you can get your shit together.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, that's essentially what's happening. Nesta takes, because she's not fucking stupid, she's like, okay, I guess I'll do this. This is also about the time when we find out that Nesta, so at the beginning of the first book, Nesta briefly mentions that she's going to marry some guy who lives down the street from them. And he's going to be her ticket out of poverty, because poor as dirt.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, also, I don't know if you remember, Feyre gets sent back to the Mortal Lands. Nesta is the only one who remembers what really happened.
Right.
Turns out that's because she wasn't there when Tamlin did whatever magic thing he did. She was breaking off her engagement. The guy threatened, or maybe didn't threaten her, but tried to assault her. So she Mike Tyson'd him.
And we've discussed previously, rape is bad.
Rape is bad. She Mike Tyson'd him.
Punched him right in the face.
Bit his ear.
Oh, bit his ear, even better.
Yeah, so that's when we learn this piece of information. We also find out that Rysand has formed an alliance with Eris, who's Lucien's brother from the Autumn Court, to kind of take down their dad. Well, not Lucien's dad, but Baron, the High Lord, and Eris is going to take his place. So he's trying to stage a coup.
He's also formed an alliance with an architect who has a fetish for steps.
Oh, okay. Well, they can fly, so it doesn't really matter to them how many steps the house has. But they had to put in the stairs just in case. I don't know.
If you can fly, why even bother with the stairs? You're not walking up and down those stairs.
Well, somebody must be. Nesta does at least once.
Stupid.
Yeah. Okay. We also find out that the mortal queens from the second and third book.
Don't remember.
There were 3 of them. They had to get half of the book from them.
Oh, right. The book bitches. Got it.
Okay. The book bitches. Oh my god. Okay. The mortal queens, one of them. So, Elaine went into the cauldron first at the end of the second book.
Yeah.
Nesta went in right after her. Mad as shit.
Sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds. Mad as shit. Flipping people off. Nesta kind of broke something in the cauldron on her way out, in and out.
Tearing it up.
Because one of the mortal queens then tried to go in after her to become a fairy. But it fucked her up. So she is a fairy now, but she's real old. She's old-ass fairy. Because she wanted to be, like, pretty forever. And instead
she's old forever.
Old forever. Immortal old. It's gotta be fun for her.
That's the way you want to do it.
So, old fairy bitch queen.
What are they the queens of?
The mortal lands.
Do the mortals, so the people, the humans,
Yeah.
they're human queens.
Yes.
Do the humans know that, or is it...
Yeah.
Okay, so they're aware that they had... Why are there 3 queens? That doesn't make any sense. There's only one queen.
No, it's never really explained. I don't think it's explained why there's 3 of them. I don't remember.
That's a disturbing monarchy that doesn't work out real well.
Does monarchy ever work out well?
Ask the Brits. Isn't it?
Okay. So we get that information. Nesta and Cassian first go up to the Illyrian mountains so that Nesta can start her training. But Nesta refuses. She's like, I'm not fucking doing this.
She doesn't do anything she's told.
No. So Cassian just starts doing his workout routine and whatever. And Nesta walks into his shop. And do you remember who owns the shop?
No.
Emery.
Right.
Emery. We met her last time.
We
her
did.
wings are clipped.
Got it.
Her store. She owns it. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And Nesta asks her to help her get some warmer clothes because it's real cold in that fucking mountain. So we now know Emery is in this book now, officially. Then, after their not training session, she goes up to the library in the house.
Monster used to live there, not anymore.
Not anymore.
He tornadoed elsewhere.
He did. We don't know where. He's just frolicking in fields now.
As a monster does.
Yeah, that's... Sure. And in the library, she meets one of the priestesses whose name is Gwyneth, but she goes by Gwen.
It's a reasonable expectation to shorten your name from Gwyneth to Gwen. Understandable.
Yes. She now has met 2 other girls, women, who are also fairies. They'll both come into play in the story.
Okay, so she's making friends.
Yes.
Got it.
Cassian and Nesta... Cassian realizes the reason Nesta isn't doing the training at the Illyrian camp is because there's all these other people around, these really sexist Illyrians who at one point say, like, we're going to have to bury the weapons she trained with because they're tainted. It's so dumb.
Is she tainting them because she's whored around town and she's getting her whore hands all over them?
No, they literally think she's a witch.
Oh, she's a witch, burn her!
Yeah, basically.
Got it.
And Nesta's a very proud person, so she doesn't want to look stupid. she's never done anything like this before. She doesn't want to do it around these people who are clearly going to judge her. They already think she's a fucking witch.
Got it.
Cassian makes a fairy bargain with her.
Never make a bargain with a fairy. We learned that already.
Well, I guess technically Alice was wrong in that sometimes they're not always bad. So the bargain is that they will train at the house, because the house has a little courtyard in it, and in exchange for Nesta's commitment to that training, Cassian will owe Nesta a deal of her choosing that she can call in at any time.
Just a bonus favor.
Just a bonus favor.
Okay.
Vague, but, they both get tattoos. Because that's how it works.
Is there an eyeball involved?
Not in this one,
No? Okay.
No.
What are they tattoos of? Did they say? They can't just say generic tattoos.
They do, but I don't remember, and I can't look it up because I don't have the book anymore.
All right, so we're
Well,
just gonna...
I can't look it up right now.
Okay.
I'll find out later. Through her work at the library with Gwen tells her that she's researching this group of women female fighters called Valkyries.
Okay.
So, it's...
That's, kind of standard fantasy for female fighters.
Yes, I wish they had a slightly more original name, but...
Oh, God forbid she use a real word for once in one of these books.
Shut the fuck up.
Make some shit up.
Shut up! Gwen is researching Valkyries. They got wiped out during some war that happened a long time ago. It might have been the war with the original war that made the wall go up and everything.
Let's just assume that.
Sure. Also, remember the library is a sanctuary for the priestesses who work there. So Gwen doesn't say exactly what happened to her, but she says, I can tell when someone remembers why I'm here, and then they start to pity me. So we know there's something happened.
There's a backstory. We'll get to it eventually, I presume.
Yes. And Nesta develops this weird connection with the house, in that she can ask it for stuff and it just kind of gives it to her.
So it's a magic house now, too.
It's a magic house, yes.
It's like a genie lives in the house.
Basically.
Granting wishes to just one person.
It's giving her, food and also smutty books.
What? Why are there smutty books inside the smutty book? Who's writing the smut for the smut characters in the smutty book?
I don't know, but I knew you would love that.
Of course. So she's diddling her bean, reading smutty books given to her by a genie in the house that no one else knows exists. This makes perfect fucking sense.
Okay.
Damn it.
Cassian at some point tells her about this monster person that he put in the prison where the bone carver used to live.
The bone carver, oh yeah!
He's dead now.
Yeah, I know, but I still like him.
Whose name is Lanthus.
Lanthus.
We'll see him later.
Okay. He's a monster then?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so he's a monster who took over for the bone carver. I'm gonna need a new wrestling impression for this guy, because he's also a monster living in the same place. We'll get there.
I'll let you think on that.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We also learn more about this thing called the Blood Rite, which is a final step in training for Illyrian warriors. Do you remember what Illyrians are? Are you going to make me say it?
Yes, say it.
The Bat Boys.
Oh, Christ. The Bat Boys. Na 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 Bat Boys!
Okay. So the Bat Boys...
Also, why did I just now think to do that? Because I should have been doing that for multiple episodes at this point.
You should have.
Call me Butter, baby. I'm on a roll.
That's the second time in a row you said that.
Yeah, it's real funny every time, isn't it?
Okay.
You're welcome.
There's this thing called the Blood Rite. They have to climb to the top of this mountain. They're not allowed to use any magic. It's a big deal. It's the final step in becoming an Illyrian warrior.
It's Everest. They've got to climb Everest.
We've got to climb Everest. Nesta decides that what would probably help some of these priestesses that are in the library is if they could train with her and Cassian too. She knows they've been traumatized in other ways. So she's like, maybe if they can learn to defend themselves better, they'll feel more control over their own life.
So now their little one-on-one training is turning into a group session.
Not yet. It's just a thought for now.
Got it. This is where the orgy's going to come in. Their little one-on-one sex is going to turn into a whole big group sex with all these.
No, but there is a point where she's in the courtyard. Cassian and Azriel there. They've both got their shirts off, and she starts daydreaming about having a threesome with them.
Yeah, she's touching herself.
She is actually. That comes up later.
Of course. Flipping the bean.
We also learned that she's really uncomfortable with the sound of fireplaces and fires.
There's so many weird little things that they're dropping about her that just are unnecessary.
Okay. And Cassian catches her trying to go down the stairs. She doesn't make it very far before she gets back up.
Yeah, because there's 10,000 goddamn stairs.
It's weird though, because I didn't realize it the first time I read it. But like Sarah J. Maas is making it seem like it's harder for her to go down than it is up. But really, it should be the other way around.
You can just fall down a flight of stairs.
Yeah, you can just...
You can't fall upstairs.
You're letting gravity do half the work anyway.
Yeah.
I have asthma. Much easier for me to go down than up.
You just slide down the rail.
I don't think I've ever done that, actually.
Really? You should try to slide down a rail of stairs sometimes. It's a good time.
How long have you known me?
You're not very athletic. You're not very coordinated.
No, I'm not. I would hurt myself so badly.
Almost immediately.
Something would happen. Glad we cleared that up. Not going down any rails anytime soon. So Nesta admits that she's upset that the priestesses aren't joining her training. She's upset about the way training is going, and so Cassian tells her his story. Castian is a bastard-born Illyrian. His parents were not married. That's a big deal in Illyrian society.
That's a big deal in fantasy in general.
I mean, not always, but in this case, for the Illyrians especially, it's a big deal because they're sexist and garbage. So...
And a woman's place is in the kitchen and cranking out babies.
Yeah, basically. For their husbands. Nobody else.
Nobody else.
No more babies. So when Cassian was sent off to do his training with the Illyrians, they basically killed his mom. So she did. They wouldn't tell him, when he went back, they wouldn't tell him where they had buried her, what they did with his body, her body. So he killed everybody there. He's real man.
Real man. Okay.
And he was like,
So he's
I don't
also
regret it.
kind of a badass.
Yeah.
He just went off and snapped and started fucking everybody up.
Yeah. And then this is where we get our first sexual encounter with the two of them.
Because he told a story. Probably should fuck him.
Well, it's like they start having an argument and Nesta's like, I know it'll shut him up.
Let's put that here.
Basically. But Cassian finishes really quickly, and she makes a joke about how he's quick off the mark, and then he feels really ashamed, and then it's over. They're done.
Well, he probably had some pent-up aggression, and Also, for the record, if we're ever fighting, and you just want to stop the argument right away, just take your clothes off. Argument over.
Noted? Okay. Pretty soon after that, we learn that the old bitch queen is looking for 3 objects. They're referred to as the Dread Trove combined.
Okay.
So there's a harp that can open any door. You play the strings.
Strange. Usually you use a key for that, but I guess you could use a harp, I guess.
There's a crown, which you wear it gives you the ability to control other people.
She's a queen. She would rightfully want a crown. Makes sense.
And a mask.
And a mask to wear to the orgy.
I don't remember if they say what it does, but they're pretty sure it ends up kind of controlling death.
It hides your identity because it's a mask. It goes on your face. Nobody can tell who you are. No?
Okay.
All right. It's like Superman. No, Superman didn't have a mask. Batman has a mask. No, Batman.
Okay. That was fun. Also, this is when it's revealed that Feyre is pregnant because her and Rysand at the end of
They've been
the Christmas book.
dicking down hardcore nonstop because they got nothing else going on right now. So she's got a bun in the oven.
She got a bun in the oven. And then Cassian and Nesta have sex, officially for the first time.
Does he finish quick again?
No.
No?
No.
So apparently the quick finish wasn't too big of a deal to her because she went back for seconds.
Yeah.
Although, in fairness, she's been fucking everybody in town, so she just found some reliable dick somewhere.
Yes. So they have that encounter, and then Nesta decides that the priestesses might be more willing to join training if they see what it's like with Cassian, because she gets the idea that maybe they're kind of intimidated by Cassian and Asriel, because they're big guys. They're scary Illyrian warriors.
Oh.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Sure. So she's in the library, she's doing stuff, but she's not doing it right. So Cassian comes down and helps her figure out what she's doing wrong. And the priestesses start peeking around the shelves watching. And then the next day, 3 people have signed up for training. One of them is Gwen.
Okay.
So Gwen is officially on board with training.
Gwen's training.
And then Nesta goes back to the Illyrian camp, and she finds Emery and says, you should train with us too, even though you can't fly.
But she's probably busy keeping up with the shop.
Well, she says that, but she's like, maybe I can come down every once in a while, maybe in the morning. So Emery is also now training with them. They ask, Feyre and Rysand and Cassian and Asriel ask Nesta to try scrying, which is, you use rocks and stuff to kind of...
Throwing rocks at people?
Not at people, no. It's a way of finding stuff, basically.
What?
I don't really know how else to describe it.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Anyway, they ask her to do that to look for one of these mask crown harp things. One part of the Dread Trove, at least.
Okay.
She tries, she ends up having this really bad nightmare, and like she wakes up and she's still got like these silver flames in her eyes because she took part of the cauldron on her way out, and so part of the cauldron like coming out of her.
Did she eat it, or is it in her pocket?
It says like she scraped it off the wall.
So it got stuck in her fingernails.
Sure.
All right.
Let's go with that.
It got stuck in her fingernails. She's diddling herself all the time. It's probably gotten up in there somewhere. It's like a UTI or something at this point. And now the cauldron is in her hoo-ha, which is why everybody wants to get up in there. Got it. I wrote the story for you.
Oh my god. That just happened. We also find out at this point, Feyre and Rysand conceived this child where they both had wings and were flying.
Fly fucking.
Fly fucking.
All right.
And because Feyre also...
I'd give it a run. What the hell? You got the wings. Why not?
Because both of them had wings at the time, the fetus also has wings.
Well, but wouldn't he anyway? Like,
Not a guarantee.
Okay, so fairies don't necessarily all have wings.
No, not... Illyrians do. Full-blooded Illyrians always have wings.
Got it.
But fairies, especially if it's half Illyrian or stuff like that, it's not a guarantee.
Got it. It's going to be weird to push that thing out.
Well, exactly.
Wings are...
Rysand says to Cassian and Azriel, Feyre's gonna die. And the baby's probably gonna die too. Because Feyre's got, like, used to be human, now fey body. It's not meant to push out a winged baby.
Are you telling me fairy vaginas are different than human vaginas?
Not fairy vaginas, Illyrian vaginas. This very particular kind of fairy that has wings. Illyrian
But they have a
women-
very particular vagina then.
I don't, he doesn't say vagina, he says like birth canal or hips or something.
I mean, that's got to be a different sensation altogether then, I would assume.
I don't know.
Does it have extra flaps?
What?
I don't know. I don't know how they work. I definitely don't know how they work in this fantasy book. I don't know how they work in real life. I definitely don't know how they work in this. It seems weird to try to give birth to something with wings.
Yes, it does. Feyre's gonna die.
All right.
But Rysand hasn't told Feyre that she's gonna die.
Do they not know how to do C-sections? Do they have bad doctors? You would think with all the witches and the warlocks and the wizards that they could probably figure out a C-section.
So they can, well, it's a very primitive C-section. So like today, C-sections happen because we've got anesthetics and anesthesiology and blood transfusions if you need to, and good pain management and all that kind of stuff. They do not have that. If they cut her open, she's gonna bleed to death and die.
Right.
So, and the baby might also die. Rysand, this is when a lot of people get really mad at Rysand. He's decided not to tell Feyre this because he's gonna fix it. He's gonna find something.
By fix it, you mean move to a red state and or move to a blue state from their red state so that they can get it taken care of. And she can get a Sprite and some graham crackers afterwards.
No.
Do they need a wire hanger?
No, Justin.
Okay. I don't know how they're doing it.
Anyway, that's
He's
not...
a fixer.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that. He seems to think he can find a solution. Everything's going to be fine. And also, he tells Rysand and Cassiel, he tells Azriel and Cassian that at the end of the third book, him and Feyre made another fairy bargain. That if one of them dies, the other one also dies.
That's a stupid bargain to make.
Yeah, I think Amryn is there, and she says that's really fucking stupid.
Why would you do that?
So now, not only is Feyre going to die
They're both gonna die.
with the baby, but then Rysand's going to die pretty soon afterward, because that's how the fairy bargain works.
Now, is that just a magic thing? Like she dies and then boom, he's done?
Yeah.
It's not like she dies and then he's got to off himself?
I mean, it's never explicitly...
Mouthful of shotgun with his toe on the trigger kind of thing?
No.
Kurt Cobain style?
No.
Kurt Cobain didn't do it. Courtney Love killed him.
Stop it. Anyway, it's never explicitly, explained, but I always figured it was a magic thing. He's just going to drop it.
All right.
So that's happening. But they did the scrying thing. They found where they think the mask is, and it's in this area called the bog. There's a lot of mist. It's really hard to find your way around.
Real swampy.
Real swampy. Cassian, Azriel, and Nesta all go to look for this mask because they think that Nesta's got this connection to it. She'll be able to sense where it is. Azriel, disappears. Cassian goes off to find him and says to Nesta, don't go in the water.
She doesn't listen because she never listens.
There are kelpies in there. They'll try to eat you.
What's a kelpie?
It's like a water demon.
Okay. Not some kind of fish.
Not some kind of fish. It's a water demon.
She's going catfish noodling in the water.
Sure. But then she gets freaked out because Cassian hasn't come back yet, and where's Azriel? And so there's all this mist. She can't really see where she's going, but she just starts wandering around yelling Cassian's name and ends up
in the water.
In the water.
And Swamp Thing gets her.
And the Swamp Thing gets her. And he's like pulling her under the water, and he's like putting his mouth on hers, trying to like suck the life out of her.
That's a weird thing to do.
It says he's got real sharp teeth, so like her face is bleeding when he lets go.
So she's making out with Swamp Thing.
I mean,
in like a non-sexual way.
Yes.
Very rapey kind of thing.
Yeah.
It seems inappropriate.
She starts feeling around on the ground. She feels like lots of bones and shit because this guy's been eating whoever wanders in.
He eats everybody.
He eats everybody. She also hits something that's like hard and metal. It's the mask, and she puts it on, and she makes all these bone skeletons come back to life and beat the kelpie off of her.
Right, that's a thing.
Basically comes floating out of the water. Cassian and Azriel are there at that point.
Nice of them to turn up when shit's not real anymore.
Yeah. And they have to, like, she's not all there. The mask is kind of trying to take over her subconscious. So they're, like, trying to bring her back. And, like, you've got to take it off. You've got to take it off. Eventually, she does. She takes it off. Now they have the mask. 1 down, 2 to go.
It's just like Jim Carrey in The Mask. When he puts the mask on, it kind of takes over. He turns into that weird green thing and he acts all ridiculous.
Yes, except a lot more morbid.
All right.
Okay. Gwyn tells Nesta about this thing she read in her Valkyrie research called mind stilling, which is, it's just meditation, but...
We gotta make up a word for it, though.
Gotta make up a new word for it. But they start doing that, and Nesta finds that it helps her sometimes. Cassian decides that Nesta has gone far enough in her training that she can work with swords now. But before she does that, he wants her to go through the process of making a sword so that she respects it or whatever.
He's seen how she can handle something long and slender, and he's like, well, maybe you should get a sword.
Sure.
She knows how to work the pole, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, they make the sword, and then they work the pole.
Of course they do.
And I think this is where you won't understand, but this is where we get the infamous put your hands on the headboard quote that everybody likes to throw around on the internet.
What is that quote?
That's Cassian to Nesta.
He tells her to put her hands on the headboard.
Put your hands on the headboard, and he bends her over.
He hits it from the back.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean I don't understand?
Well, it's a little out of context, so...
Got it.
Okay.
So he hits it from the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that happens.
Are we talking doggy style or anal?
I don't think it's anal.
I'm just questioning at this point.
Okay.
Because hitting it from the back can mean more than one thing.
I know.
Right up the pooper.
Okay. All right. Okay. Rysand calls Nassian to his house.
Nassian?
Cassian.
Okay.
Damn it. I'm a little tired today. I'm all over the place.
You need more caffeine. I have lots of caffeine. Monster Energy, if you're listening, and I know you are, send me more drinks.
Okay. We'll see how that works out for us.
It probably won't.
No. But Rysand calls Cassian to his house. Amren and Azriel are there. Morgan is off doing somewhere this whole fucking time. We never see her. But they say that the sword Nesta made has like these weird magical properties.
Of course it's magical powers.
Because Nesta has weird magical powers.
Right.
Because she took part of the cauldron.
On her fingers when she scratched it. Now she put it in the sword. Also put it in her box.
Yeah. Put what?
In her box. Vagina.
Okay.
Ha!
Okay. Cassian takes Nesta with him to go meet with Eris. And they're meeting on the border of the autumn and the spring court. Eris runs away. Tamlin stumbles into them, and Nesta rips into him. You were an awful person. You treated my sister like garbage. I hope you're miserable forever, essentially.
Right, and he is miserable still.
Yes, so you know what?
Success.
Yep. They have heard from Feyre and Elaine that Nesta is a really good dancer. So
Mostly from all her hip work.
Well.
While she's riding that dick.
Okay. They're going to have this party in the Court of Nightmares, and Nesta's going to dance with Eris to distract him from something, or to do something to solidify their alliance some more, or something like that.
She's gonna shake what her mama gave her.
Yeah, essentially. Cassian reveals that this sword that she made is magic. They weren't going to tell her about it. They had a vote about it because they were worried that they couldn't trust her with it. They still don't really like her for a lot of reasons. Nesta gets fucking pissed that they were going to keep this from her.
She says, that's my magic sword.
Goes down all 10,000 steps, makes it to Feyre and Rysand's house, runs into Feyre, and she says, your husband thinks he's so great, he's not telling you that your baby's gonna kill you.
Oh, so she spilled the beans.
She spilled the beans. Rysand hears this, comes out, and says, you need to leave or I'm gonna fucking kill you.
All right.
So
we got some family drama there.
Family drama.
They don't get along with the in-laws.
No. I mean, it's weird. Rysand has a particular, like, he's really upset with Nesta in particular, where her and Elaine both were kind of useless. Nesta was more mean about it, but Elaine was also not doing anything when they lived in that tiny little house. And Feyre at one point says that to Rysand, like, it's not like Elaine did anything to help either.
Right.
But Elaine is the nice one, so it's fine. Anyway, Cassian picks her up. They go on this trek through the mountains. They hike together. This is when she reveals that she doesn't like the sound of fire because it reminds her of the sound her dad's neck made as it was broken by the King of Hybern.
Ridiculous.
Well, that's her
That's a weird correlation to make.
weird correlation to make. She kind of unloads on Cassian about, like, how she's an awful person and she doesn't deserve any happiness and she's never been good at anything and she's too much like her mother, who's been dead for a long time now at this point.
And then Cassian unloads all over her face.
I mean, not on her face, but they do fuck in the woods a lot.
Of course they do.
That happens. She kind of makes up with Feyre, and Feyre's like, you know, like, I'm upset with Rysand. I'm glad you said something. Because that's not something you should keep from your spouse.
Probably not. That she's gonna die? Yeah. She'd
Yeah.
probably like to know that.
Yeah.
I also would hope that they're working on a plan at some point to get that taken
They are
care of.
kind of, they're still looking for possible solutions. It's just difficult.
I'm thinking this world of magic where nobody ever dies from anything, they'd be able to figure something out to get that baby out of there.
Well, we'll find out how that goes.
It's gonna happen.
Gwen says that the Valkyries did this thing when they finished their training where they would have to cut a ribbon. So they put up this ribbon, and everybody tries to cut it.
Is it magic ribbon?
It's just a regular ribbon.
And what if... I don't understand why it would be difficult to cut a ribbon.
Because you got to make sure you're holding the sword the right way to cut it through it cleanly.
Okay.
I don't know how swords work.
That's silly.
Don't ask me.
It's silly.
Okay, you're silly.
That's cutting a ribbon.
Cutting a
Just get
ribbon.
a pair of scissors. I can cut ribbon all day.
Gwen is a priestess. She invites Nesta to come watch her service where she's going to sing. Nesta falls asleep during the service
As one does. It was boring.
and kinds of accidentally scrying for the harp. And she says the harp is in the prison. She finds it. It's in the prison
What prison?
where the bone carver used to live.
Bone Carver.
Yes.
Okay.
So her and Cassian go there. They find the harp. Something weird happens. She has to play the harp to get it to open the doors, but she just says, open all the doors. And so the harp opens every door, including to all the monsters. This is where Lanthus comes up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, brother. He's Hulk Hogan. Get it?
Okay.
Oh, brother.
I'm glad you figured that out.
He had to be somebody.
Okay. Did he, though?
He's a real American. That was Hulk Hogan's entrance theme.
Oh.
I feel like I had to say that because a lot of people aren't going to get the reference, and otherwise it just sounds like I'm a crazy person.
I mean, he hasn't been doing wrestling for a long time.
He comes and goes.
Didn't he just marry like a 20-year-old?
She's not quite 20. I think she's like in her 40s, and he's like almost 70. I don't know. It's somewhere around there. It's not like Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger just married somebody younger than you,
Oh.
and they had a baby.
I mean, I remember hearing about the baby.
Yeah, Mick Jagger's almost 80.
For the record, I'm in my early 30s.
Get it, Mick Jagger?
Maybe don't like that, Mick Jagger. Don't get it like that.
Well, don't get my wife, Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger could definitely steal you away from me if he wanted to.
No, he could not. No.
He's cooler than I am.
Maybe, but also.
Also, with all that money, I would tell you to take Mick Jagger over me. You're gonna live a better life. I'm nice and all, and I'm funny. I'm probably funnier than Mick Jagger, but he's got way more money.
I'm not fucking Mick Jagger.
All right. Well, maybe for the story.
No,
You could tell me the story. It sounds like a good story.
I'm not fucking Mick Jagger.
How about tickets to see the Stones?
Wait, fuck him to get tickets to this?
I mean, I guess we don't need to get tickets to see the Stones if you're fucking Mick Jagger. We could probably just meet him and Keith and hang out, and maybe they do a little acoustic set for us, and it'd be pretty cool.
We have gone off the rails here.
I like Mick Jagger. Rolling Stones are cool.
I know they are.
All right.
I'm not fucking a 70-something-year-old guy. I don't care how much money he has.
I guess I can't argue with that statement.
You are welcome.
You feel how you feel.
I do.
All right.
Okay.
Getting back to this book.
We're in the prison.
We're in the prison, right. I forgot where we were. Hulk Hogan's there.
Okay. Hulk Hogan, Lanthus is there. He senses like this death magic in Nesta. He says, we could be amazing together. He shows her a vision of the two of them like fucking. It's real weird.
He wants oh wow, she's gonna fuck Hulk Hogan now.
Well, she doesn't. She actually, so they bring the sword that she made. She uses it to kill him.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's a magic sword, so it wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't magic. That's the lesson there.
Got it. Magic sword.
Magic sword.
The sword that she wasn't even supposed to know was magic.
Yes.
Got it.
They go back to Rysand's house. They meet with everybody. And Amren, who's been around for a very long time, she's like 5,000 years old.
Bitch is old.
Old as dirt. Mentions something about this other class of people who used to rule the fairies there. They're called the Daglin. And I'm only bringing that up because it will come back like 4 books from now.
4 books from now.
Okay, so
Those aren't even written yet.
I take that back. That was a little confusing. We are going to be talking about Crescent City. That's going to come back in Crescent City.
Oh, so this bitch wrote more books in the same world.
Yeah, it's like a universe thing, which I didn't know until I got to the end of the second Crescent City book.
I didn't know that I was in for more of this from the same.
Yep.
Lovely.
Yep. So, only mentioning it because it's
Is she going to tie all of them together at some point and it's going to be like a big thing?
Do you want me to spoil it for you?
I mean, I guess that would kind of defeat the purpose of us sitting here talking about it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll have to wait.
You will.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, we're going to do Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and then we'll start working on Crescent City. So it won't be too long until you find out.
You act like I have any idea what you're saying right now.
I know. Okay. They do the party in the Court of Nightmares. Nesta dances with Eris, who's so amazed by her dancing that he's like, I want to marry her.
Was she ever titties out or something?
No.
I don't know what he's so into.
I don't know. She's a real... the idea of someone being so good at dancing that you're just like, I'll marry this one. That's bizarre to me. But anyway.
It's real bizarre. Again, it's got to be something to do with the hips and the shaking.
The hips and the shaking?
Yeah, it's got to be something sexual about it
Okay.
to captivate him to such a point. Because otherwise she's just dancing. What are you doing with that?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Okay. They're back at the house, and Cassian and Nesta have a moment where, like, Nesta says, I'm going to marry him because I don't deserve any better. She still has a real shitty opinion of herself, which is unjustified, to be fair, Nesta. Cassian says, no, you're not going to marry him. You're it for me. I'm it for you. This is it.
They've been fucking a lot.
They've been fucking a lot. They didn't exchange I love yous, but they came pretty close.
Also, there's an awful lot of fucking going on, and only one person's gotten pregnant so far.
Yes.
There must be some real good birth control in this world.
Well, there is like a tonic.
Is
that
it
they
magic
mention.
birth control?
It's magic birth control.
Of course
Also,
it is.
I think it's in the Christmas book that Feyre mentions that fairies aren't nearly as fertile as humans are. So she has a period like once every 6 months instead of every month. So you're just a lot less likely to get pregnant in general.
Do they like lay eggs or something?
They do not lay eggs.
Just-
Feyre's pregnant right now.
Well, she could be like, I don't know, there might be an egg involved.
There's not an egg, I'm telling you.
All right.
No eggs.
All right.
Okay.
It's just a question.
Oh my god. Nesta has like this big slumber party with Gwen and Emery because they're all best friends now, and they make friendship bracelets. Bracelets are going to come back later.
I was to say friendship. This sounds like something like 12-year-old girls would be doing, making
Well-
friendship bracelets and having sleepovers.
Well, Nesta and Cassian have this, they're like walking somewhere, and Cassian mentions something about like, well, you're my mate, obviously, and Nesta's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not your mate. Because she doesn't, that's a level of commitment she's not ready for. Also, she was human not that long ago, so it's a brand new thing for her.
She doesn't understand this whole mate concept.
She don't want any part of it. So she calls in their bargain and says, the favor you owe me is that you have to stay away from me for a week. So she's doing the same thing Feyre did, where she's like, I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Her real, this whole family is real persnickety about their fellas.
Yeah. And then She goes up to the Illyrian camp, Emery's shop, spends the night there. Gwen joins them. Gwen's all shaken up because it's the first time she's left the library in like 5 years.
Another sleepover.
Another sleepover, except they get kidnapped during the night and dropped into the middle of the Blood Rite.
Who kidnaps them?
The Illyrians.
Okay, the Bat Boys.
Not like the bad boys,
Not
the other
different ones.
Illyrians.
Got it.
Bad Illyrians.
Okay.
Who were trying to prove that women shouldn't be allowed. Because the idea is like they're all gonna die.
Right.
And Cassian and Rysand and Azriel figure this out. Azriel's also kind of into Elaine. I'm not. That's a whole other thing that I'm not.
That's the next book, probably.
But okay, I am not an Azriel and Elaine shipper. I don't get it.
I don't even know what you just said.
I do not support their relationship. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Okay.
Because Azriel was into Morrigan.
But
She
she's
was
a
unavailable.
lesbian, right?
Yes.
Right.
There's also a scene in the book where she comes back briefly. She sees Emery. It's clear that she might be a little into Emery.
Okay.
So that might happen. But
We'll get
regardless,
some weird lesbian action going on in one of these books eventually.
eventually, yeah. I think Azriel.
Bumpin' donuts.
Stop it.
Okay.
I think Azriel has a habit of like wanting what he can't have because he had a very traumatic childhood. And as someone who's familiar with trauma, not that I want to go into a lot of detail here, like that's the thing that happens is you end up subconsciously chasing after people who aren't available because it's easier than feeling like you failed at a relationship if the relationship never happens. So I think that's what Azriel is doing.
But we're going to get a whole book about it.
Yes. So, but again, he's kind of into Elaine. He might also be into Gwen, which I think would be better, but whatever.
He's going to fuck them all, is what's going to happen.
He might.
It's going to be like Pokemon. Gotta fuck them all.
Okay. Okay.
I don't mean fuck all the Pokemon. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm still disappointed. Okay.
Disappointed that we're not fucking the Pokemon?
I'm disappointed in everything that just came out of your mouth.
That's fair.
Okay.
I've lived a life of disappointment. This isn't the first time.
I know.
If you don't expect too much from me, you might not be let down.
Oh my god. Okay. So, they're at the Blood Rite. Cassian and Azriel, meanwhile, are looking for this queen because they find out that she probably has the crown already. And so
Because she's a queen, why wouldn't she?
well, but she's still looking for the other two parts of the Dread Trove so that she can be super powerful. Woo!
Right.
It's illegal to remove someone from the Blood Rite. So they can't do anything about it. Nesta, Gwen, and Emery have to go through this. Or, because if they try to take them out of there, all of them are going to be put to death. That's the law there.
Okay, it's a strange law, but okay.
It's a strange law, but those are the rules.
Right.
But Nesta realizes that her little bracelet magic thing, friendship bracelet,
Friendship bracelets, yeah.
kind of helps her find Gwen and Emery because they are also wearing the bracelets.
Right.
So they kill a bunch of people, they fight their way through because they've had all this Valkyrie training.
And she's got a magic sword. Did she bring her magic sword?
No weapons allowed.
Oh, okay.
They have to find
They're just
weapons.
barehanded it.
Yeah.
Real Jason Statham style.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
No weapons, no magic. It's just punching.
So it's like Jason Statham, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Steven Seagal all in there just fisting it out.
Yes.
Got it.
But when you say fisting it out, I imagine something very different.
You know
I just
exactly.
want to be clear.
I didn't say fisting it out by accident. I used that phrasing for a reason.
Okay. So they make it to the mountain. They have to get to the top of the mountain to complete and win the Blood Rite.
Okay. Got to climb Mount Everest.
I think it's Gwen. It's either Emery or Gwen who's really hurt, and the other one has to like carry her up to the top. And there's all these people coming after them who are still trying to kill them. And Nesta says, "You guys go up. I'm gonna hold everybody off." She at this point has found some weapons, so she's not completely defenseless.
Okay.
She starts fucking shit up. We go back to Cassian's point of view, and the queen finds them. She's got the crown, so she takes control of Azriel, and then Cassian. And then they show up at the Blood Rite, where Nesta is. Because this has been... Queen is mad at Nesta for fucking up her chance to be young and pretty forever.
Right.
So, she's there with Cassian and Nesta, going on her long villain speech about how she orchestrated this whole thing.
Because you have to have a villain speech. Why are villains always so dumb?
Why do they talk so much?
Yeah, why do they have to give out all of their plans? You would think if they really wanted to accomplish their goals, they would just do it and not tell everybody.
Well, yeah. The queen has a crown, tells Cassian to kill Nesta, which in theory he should do because he's under the queen's control. And then that's when Nestia says, no, he's my mate, I'm not going to let that happen. So she admits it. Cassian is her mate.
But also, aren't they supposed to not be anywhere near each other right now because she cashed in her 1 week
This
favor?
is at the very end of the week, though.
Okay.
So technically,
That's
the time has
done.
passed.
Okay.
Nobody's in danger of dying, or however the bargain works. I don't know. Anyway, she fights Cassian off a little bit. He falls over. She uses her crazy death power to basically incinerate the queen. So the queen's dead.
Crazy death powers. The mask thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, because it's the power she took from the cauldron.
Oh, so it's the cauldron power.
It's the cauldron power.
Okay, I thought she put the mask back on and did the thing with the bones again.
No, but that's coming up.
Okay.
So, her and Cassian reunite. Cassian is like, I'm so glad you admitted that I'm your mate. And then they
Knock out a quickie on the top of the mountain.
No, they don't have time for that because they leave the mountain, go to the house, and then I don't remember who, but someone says that Feyre has gone into labor.
So, wait, because did they make it to the top of the mountain so everybody who was trying to kill him just backs off?
So Emery and Gwen make it to the top of the mountain. Nesta didn't make it there in time, but she still made it to the mountain, so she's not. It's not like she lost completely. There's different levels.
Oh, okay.
If you make it to the mountain, you're one level. If you make it to the peak of the mountain, you're a different level.
She doesn't get to go to the bonus round and try to win $30,000?
No.
Got it.
Okay.
But she gets to come back next week, and we'll see what behind door number 2. It's a new car!
Okay.
Is Steve Harvey there?
No.
He's my favorite.
I know he is. How much Family Feud have we been watching lately?
He's got that mustache and those fancy suits.
I know you love it.
He's a good guy.
Well,
I like you. Steve Harvey, if you're listening, and I know that you are. Keep putting up with those suits.
Okay. Can we move on?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Feyre's in labor. It's early, for one. She wasn't supposed to have this baby yet. 2, they have not figured out a solution.
Well, maybe if it's a preemie, it'll sneak out of there with those wings.
No, she's still gonna die.
Oh, okay.
She's still dying. So they go to the room where Nesta is in labor. Elaine is there. Asian. God,
Asian.
Asriel.
That's what they ought to call him. Asian.
Asriel is there.
Getting all that ass.
I think Gwen is also there. Amryn and Morrigan are there. It's a whole thing. I'm so glad we did not have that many people there.
So everybody from the
gave
whole
birth.
book got together and they were like, let's watch this bitch die.
Basically. And she does. They end up having to cut her open, and then she dies. But then Nesta calls on the harp, the mask, and the crown, because now she's got access to all 3 of them. And she somehow communicates with the cauldron. And she says, I will give back what I took if you save my sister and her baby. And so she uses one of the doors that the harp opens is time. So she uses the harp to... I know, I can see your face.
Yeah.
She uses the harp to open the door 2 times. She turns time back.
She gets in a DeLorean, goes back in time.
Yes. Feyre is fine. The baby's fine. She tells Cassian that she gave up most of her power to the cauldron. She's pretty sure the cauldron left a little bit in her. But most of it is gone now, because that was a deal she made with the cauldron.
Because apparently you can also make deals with pot.
Yeah, sure. That's a thing now. Because the cauldron's like weirdly sentient, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
So is the house and the library. Everything has its own personality.
Yeah.
It's real weird. Everything and everyone is alive.
Yep. And then she tells Cassian, like, as everybody's like relieved that Rysand and Feyre and the baby aren't all gonna die now. Everybody's fine. They named the baby Nyx, by the way.
Nyx.
I'm sure you wanted to know.
N-I-X?
And YX.
And what? Of course it's a Y. Stupid. It's not even a real vowel.
Anyway, baby's fine. Feyre's fine. She tells...
Farrah's been dead twice at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah.
God.
Twice. Yep.
She's seen some shit on the other side, is what we presume.
She might have, yeah.
Surprised we haven't gone into that.
But Nesta tells Cassian that while she was fucking around with the harp and everything, she changed her and Feyre's, like, anatomy to where they could have winged babies. That's the dumbest part of this whole book. I hate it so much.
So now there's going to be more winged babies.
Eventually, yes.
Great.
But, note, She did not change Elaine's because Elaine's mate does not have fucking wings. It's not going to be Asriel, guys. I will die on this hill.
If it is, she's gonna die on the hill because she's but it would only have wings if they fucked while they're flying, right?
It could go either way though, because it would be a half Illyrian baby, so it could not have wings or it could have wings.
Right.
So
It doesn't just have little stumps sometimes.
Not that the book mentions.
Also, are they all bat wings? None of them are feathered wings?
They're all bat wings. Illyrians have bat wings.
Okay.
Bat boys.
Are there feathered wings anywhere yet?
No, there's another race of like winged creatures.
Wing bitches?
Wing bitches.
Got it. You know what I feel bad for right now is Rysand, because at this point, his human mate just pushed a weird demon winged thing out her vagina. That thing's never going to be the same. It's going to be blown out like a tube sock that you stretched everything out of.
That is not how that works.
I don't know. You didn't give birth to a baby with wings.
I did not. But
And
I
if
did
it killed her,
give birth.
it probably tore it up pretty good.
She had a C-section.
Oh, that's right. They cut it out.
They cut it out.
Oh, so her vagina's fine then.
Also, that's not how that works.
It's funny.
Damn it, Justin. Okay. That's the whole book.
That's it.
Where it ends.
We're done. Baby's there. Doesn't have any vowels in its name. And we're just...
Her, Nessa and Feyre now have new vaginas.
New
hips,
vaginas.
Uteruses, whatever.
All right. She wished for new vaginas from the talking pot.
Yes.
Cool.
So, now that we've gone through that whole thing, a lot more to go over than the Christmas book.
Right. With the little pretend book that only
Yeah.
had 15 pages.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
What do you think I rated this?
You rated the first one, you rated a 4, right? Mm-hmm. I think we're back to 4.
Yeah, we are.
We're back to
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a lot more happened here.
There was a lot to go through.
So we're done at this point because she hasn't written any more books right now.
No, she has left hints that she's working on the next one. That is, again, probably going to be Elaine and or...
Well, I would hope so, because this
Asriel.
doesn't feel like a happily ever after the story's finished kind of thing. Right?
No.
So it's definitely left wide open for more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is she like Danielle Steele and she's cranking out like 6 books a year? My mom reads a lot of Danielle Steele. Those
yes.
books come out all the time.
She's not quite that fast. She's doing at least a 1 or 2 a year at this point. But like, this book was, oh no, let's see. How many pages? It should say somewhere. 757 pages.
That's a lot of pages. When did this come out?
Oh man, damn it, Justin.
Like, how old is this?
2021.
2020. So this came out a while ago.
Yeah, but she's been working on the Crescent City series for a couple years.
So she just dropped this and was like, let me go do some other shit.
Basically, yeah. And there are now 3 Crescent City books. I bought the last one, I think the day it came out. Or pretty close to that.
And
It was in
that
December.
you say ties into this.
Yes.
So eventually, they're maybe just all going to intertwine. So she's writing this other group. They're going to come together, and then we're just going to do one series all at the same time.
It's not going to be one series.
No.
No.
Okay.
There's been some overlap. I think the overlap is done now.
All right.
But they exist in the same universe.
Okay. Strange.
Okay. That was a good time for everyone, I'm sure.
Yes, I had fun.
Did you really, though?
I did.
Okay.
I usually try to make sure I have fun. I don't. Sometimes at the
At
cost
my
of
expense.
others. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
I
know.
still have a good time, and as long as I'm having fun, that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah, sure. Follow us on Facebook and TikTok, FAE Podcast. Ratings, reviews, suggestions for books you'd like me to read, all of that is always welcome. We will see you next time. We're going
Bye.
to be doing,
What? Oh no, not bye yet.
not by yet,
Shit.
Fourth Wing and Iron Flame next.
Fourth Wing.
Dragon books.
Dragon fucking.
Yes, dragon fucking.
Do your dragon dildo research now.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.